But leading off the program, joining us on the phone lines, we're going to be talking some high school basketball and a little NCAA basketball leading off the program here as we welcome in the outstanding head coach of the DeMatha basketball program, Coach Mike Jones. Mike, thanks for joining us and spending some time with us this evening.
Chris, thanks for having me. It's my pleasure.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you on the program, Coach Jones. Before I ask you about your program this year and the success you had here in 2015, I want to ask you a little bit about the NCAA tournament because you look at the teams still active, still playing in the NCAA tournament right now, entering the Sweet 16 today. There's DeMatha players all over the place, including, of course, Mike Bray, the head coach of Notre Dame, that has Notre Dame back in the Sweet 16 for the first time in 12 years. So talk about a little bit of the pride that you have with so many DeMatha products actively playing in the NCAA tournament right now.
Obviously very proud. It's something that, at this time of year, it's kind of cool to see so many of our guys be active. But, we've had years where the DeMatha guys haven't lasted that long in a tournament, but to have 4 teams left out of the Sweet 16 with some DeMatha representation on it is pretty cool. We've got 3 former players and 4 former coaches still active in the tournament, and I can't wait for 7:15 tonight to start watching.
Yeah, and sticking right along that vein, Victor Oladipo is a guy we saw on RCN a few years ago in the City Series Championship game. We broadcast that a couple years ago. What was it like to play such a huge role and have him go on and be an outstanding college player, and now he's becoming a premier player at the NBA level?
Again, just someone that we're really proud of. Victor, as well as a few of the other guys, are just really hard workers and all really great people. Victor's grown into be quite a young man. On and off the basketball court, but the entire DeMatha community is clearly just very proud of what he's been able to do. This year being in the dunk contest and, making a lot of the attention with him being in the contest about fighting cancer, with the dunk cancer campaign he had going. Everybody in our community really rallied behind him for that, and it's just being able to do things like that in the position that he is in. Being a young and up-and-coming player in the league, again, we could not be more proud.
Yeah, what does it mean to have Victor? And you've had some former players and coaches come back to the community and participate in different events in the D.C. area. What does that mean to you to have them come back and give back to the community?
Well, I think it just speaks a lot for, their time with us. And then, obviously just growing up in this area. Victor's someone who, St. Jerome's Academy is right down the street from us at DeMatha, and they embrace him. His AAU organization, he grew up playing club ball with a lot of people, but in high school wound up playing with Team Takeover organization. And he comes back and he does plenty of things with them too. So, he's somebody that the entire, D.C. area has been able to embrace. As a DeMatha guy, we're proud of it, but, the entire area gets to root for him because he's such a good kid. And again, there's a lot of other guys, just like the entire D.C. area is rooting for, the DeMatha guys that are still left in the tournament. But, we're all claiming them because, they're such good kids and we're all rooting for them.
Yeah. Now, your current team this year at DeMatha, of course, you had another outstanding season. What were some of the highlights during the course of the year, which, of course, culminated in a championship over Mount Carmel for the state title? What was this season like for you?
It was really good. We started out 10-0. We won actually the first annual Victor Oladipo Christmas tournament down in Orlando, which is something he started again to really give back to that community down in Florida, and we won the first Christmas tournament they had down there. We wound up playing our 11th game, was an ESPN game on national television against a team from California that was ranked in the top 5 in the country at the time, and that was our first loss. So we were 10-1, and then we won 15 straight games to get to 25-1. Stumbled a little bit at the end of the regular season of our conference, and with 2 losses. So we finished our regular season 25-3 going into the playoffs. We made it to the championship game of our league and lost in double overtime by a small margin in a game that was, for fans, had to be a really great game to watch. And then we won our last 6 games on the way to a championship in the Maryland State Private School playoffs and the championship at the Al Harbor Catholic Invitational National Tournament. So, again, just we're really successful this year. We won 33 games. That's the 4th most in school history. It's the 16th time DeMatha team has won 30 games or more. It's the 6th time, in the last 13 seasons since Coach Wooten has retired, that we've won 30 games or more. So, again, really proud. Our kids are going to college. We've got some high-level recruited players coming back to our team next season. And, for us, it's been a couple of weeks off now. And as soon as our spring break is over, we're going to hit the ground running to get ready for the 2015 and 2016 season.
Yep. Could you talk a little bit about your players? I know two people in particular, Markelle Fultz and Thomas Bruce. The writers down there have told me a lot of good things about him. Bruce just a force inside for you, and Fultz just a junior, so he's coming back for you. But could you talk about those guys, and who are some of your other top players this season?
Yeah, well, Thomas Bruce is a senior. We have 4 seniors on this year's team. Thomas Bruce is going to be attending Binghamton University up in New York next year. He was, somebody who's, we've known for, all of our guys have a long connection with DeMatha. We've known Thomas since he was 6 years old from coming to DeMatha basketball camp. Terrell Allen's a point guard, is actually going to be playing at Drexel in Philly next year. Yep. And, he's very much looking forward to going and contributing to Coach Flint's program. And, he's one of the best point guards we've had at DeMatha, and we've had some pretty good ones. Jalen Grant and Ahmad Clark are 2 other seniors, Jalen Grant being the last of the Grant boys to come through and play for us. Yep. His older brothers, one's playing overseas right now, having a very successful career in Europe. One actually plays for the Sixers, and Jeremy Grant. And then, Jaren Grant is one of the best players in the country, if not the best player in the country in college basketball this year for Notre Dame. So, Jalen's kind of followed in their footsteps, being a DeMatha Stag, and, looking forward to, he's very close to committing to a college, and I don't want to be the one to announce where he's going, but I think he's pretty.
That was
close
my next
to
question,
commit.
actually.
Yeah, I wish I could, but okay. I don't want to steal his thunder. So, okay. But I know he had a meeting with the university today, and he's pretty close to committing there. Mm-hmm. I said Ahmad Clark's our last guy. Again, somebody who's been around our program since he was small through our camps, and he's going to be making a decision on college here pretty soon. And then you do have a kid, Markelle Fultz, is one of our juniors returning next year. He was the player of the year in the league this year. Really proud of him. He was on JV last year as a sophomore. Really worked really hard on and off the court to become a true student athlete. And, he's got offers from Arizona and Miami and Xavier and, Maryland and Georgetown. I mean, he can pretty much go where he wants to. Another returner for us is a sophomore, DJ Harvey, a first-team All-League player. Again, being recruited by, everybody in the country, including Kentucky and Arizona, and Wake Forest and, North Carolina. So, we've got some talent coming back. One of the best things is those guys really play well together. And, again, as soon as our spring break's over, we're going to start working towards next season.
All right, Coach, we appreciate your time. Before we let you go, can I steal an NCAA pick from you before we go? And is it tough with all these DeMatha players still actively involved? Can you root for anyone at this point?
Well, I definitely root for all the DeMatha guys, whether it be, Notre Dame, obviously going to root for them. Duke, we're rooting for them. NC State, rooting for them. And then one of the coaches for Xavier is a former DeMatha player. Yeah. So we're rooting for them, too. I will say this. Obviously anybody picking against Kentucky is crazy. The chances of them losing is probably not likely. But I do believe that tonight is going to be tough. Mm-hmm. And wishful thinking, I want Notre Dame to make it as far as they can. And I think they have a better chance of beating West Virginia than they would Kentucky. So if Notre Dame can get it done tonight, I'd rather their next opponent be West Virginia. But Coach Huggins and how tough they are and the way they play, the way they attack the rebounding game and their pressure, I think it's going to give Kentucky all they can handle tonight. But, all in all, Kentucky's probably too deep for anybody. I like Arizona. I like Wisconsin. I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion that Kentucky's going to win. I think they're really going to have to earn it. And who knows, they might not even be alive after tonight. So we'll see.
All right, Coach Jones, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on another great season.
Thank you.